Hello, my name is David Onyango. I'm the founder of DOIT Solutions Limited, registered in Kenya. I have over 27 years experience spanning multiple roles in the corporate world. Just to mention a few, I've done infrastructure support, business application support, application development, as well as data and analytics. Our company's mission is to develop interoperable, scalable, and smart solutions that are able to address current and future business needs. Our goal is to expand into emerging markets and frontier markets in Africa and beyond. To achieve this, we've leveraged on partnerships with technology leaders in the market, and that has enabled us to develop our first anchor product called Axel, which is a software as a service sales platform that has been designed to meet scenarios for business to business as well as business to consumer. For further details, please refer to my website captioned below. Thank you. To launch the system after installing from the Play Store, locate the icon Do It Axle Sales. Once you launch it, you'll be able to see some toast messages appearing at the bottom, which typically indicate when all the background activities have been completed and ready for you to sign in. Having launched the application successfully, you're now ready to sign into it. So the sign-in process is based on the OpenID standard of authentication, which relies on tokens. It's quite a broad topic, which I'll be able to explain in detail in a different video. But this particular system uses the OpenID standard, as already mentioned, and we are using the Microsoft as the authentication provider. So to be able to launch the authentication process, just click on the sign in or out button. You'll be presented with the Microsoft login page where you can either sign in with your email account or your phone number or even Skype. Now, for email, one is able to sign in with the Microsoft email account or even any other internet email provider out there. You can also sign in with your corporate account. What will actually happen is that once you sign in with your account, which is not controlled under Microsoft, then you'll be sent a code, an authorization code in your email for you to be able to key it in to complete the authentication process. So at this point, we can proceed to the login action. So I already had an account that I'd logged in with earlier to save time, right at the bottom there. So when I select it, the system will prompt me whether I trust this application I'm attempting to log into. In that case, I'll just click continue. So once the application process concludes its required flows, then you'll be able to see the name of your account listed right at the bottom of the sign in or out button. Once you've successfully authenticated into the application, the next step involving selected the user profile you'd like to access. So there are two types of profiles. There's shopper profile and then there's salesperson profile. The shopper profile typically applies to self-service kind of scenarios. So I can give two examples. So one example is one where a consumer would like to place an order by themselves for goods or services against an entity for personal use. The second common example would be, say, for a retailer who, instead of waiting for a salesperson either coming from a distributor or from a wholesaler to come and collect their orders, they're able to place orders directly to those entities if they are registered in the system, so that they are able to get their orders placed by themselves, and then the delivery is done accordingly after making payments. The second profile, that's the salesperson profile, typically applies to scenarios, say, where you have, taking an example of a distributor who has a sales team in place. So the sales team would also need to enroll into this system, even though they are staff members in that company. So the workflow requires them to enroll, so that then the entity's administration is able to approve their access into the system. Now, the second scenario that applies to still using the same example of a distributor is, say, if you have someone who is not part of your sales force and would like to sell on the behalf of the company, then this person can come and also sign up as a salesperson to submit that request. So it will appear as a request on the back end, and therefore it will be the organization's decision to decide whether to bring this person on board or not. Okay, and of course that would involve the recruitment governance processes for that organization when they want to onboard a salesperson. And that is those are the main differences between the two profiles. Having understood the user profiles definition, you're now ready to sign up to the respective profiles accordingly. So you'll notice we have two buttons. We have the already signed up button, then we have the sign up button. So going to the sign up button, you'll be presented with three pull down menus. So the first one is for countries. So we have Kenya being the default, and then all these other countries all over the world. And then followed by the sectors. So far we've registered a couple of sectors here. We have retail, we have automotive, we have, and so on and so forth, including one for demonstration, which would be utilizing throughout these sessions. So when you say, for example, if you select retailer, then you'll only be presented with those entities that are in the retail sector. If you choose, say, automotive, for example, yeah, then again you'll just be shown those entities that are in the particular sectors for automotive and all, and so on and so forth. So it's a sector-based division, just to ensure that it's not a cumbersome list that one needs to go through in order to search for the sectors they are interested in. So for the demonstration purpose, I'm going to use a demonstration only sector. Of course, that's not a real sector, but just to organize accordingly, we have this demonstration only sector, and under demonstration we have this entity for doing demonstration. So for shopper, if I need to sign up to this entity as the shopper, then I just click the red button, and it will say it will give me it will synchronize the request to the backend, and so that I'm able to get access to the system. Likewise, if I go to salesperson profile and I want to register also as a salesperson on the same entity, I'll just select the salesperson profile and then enroll. So that just for further clarity, so that means the user who is signed on in this case wants to be both a shopper as well as a salesperson. So what creates a difference is just a selection that is done at the profile field. Okay, so if I was to sign up then as a salesperson, then that request will be transmitted to the backend server, and the backend is where you'll be able to see the entities administration will be able to see the request. So what you notice that if we go to the already signed up list, so for salesperson, automatically you'll notice that there is no the entity. You're not ready to sign into the entity because the governance process has to take place behind to determine if they want to enroll this account, the account holder, or not. So that is the entity's discretion to be able to allow access. Now, as end user, you can you to be able to check the status, you can always keep refreshing the entities using the refresh entities list to see if you've already been enrolled. Now, otherwise, if you are rejected, then you will get the message of rejection. Okay. Now, for shopper, if you select shopper, you notice automatically, even without going through the enrollment process, you're already given permission and you're already in a position to log in to be able to transact as a shopper. Once you've already signed up successfully, either as a shopper or a salesperson, the next step would be to log into the entity in order to transact. In this example, I'll be demonstrating how the experience that the shopper group goes through once the sign up process has been completed. So in the sign up here, we will notice that this particular user has signed up to 3 entities as a shopper. So selecting the first entity, we go through the login, the first time login process. And in this process, one is now required to enter their personal information. So the first thing the system does, is to check if already you are registered as a customer. If not, then it allows you now to register. Now in this screen, you notice some fields are in red, some are in gray. So the fields which have red comments, those are mandatory fields. So for example, here we have the mobile number field, which is mandatory because it's typical, is normally used for mobile money payments where applicable, and also to be able to contact customers when necessary. So we can enter values, we can enter a fictitious number here, but of course you need to enter a valid number to be able to be contacted in case of anything. On the location tab, there is a button to enable GPS, your present GPS coordinates to be taken. And this, of course, would be used in say scenarios where if you wanted to provide delivery services, then your physical address can be obtained. The other option is simply to enter your address, the name of your physical address, and that will also just be sufficient enough. So I'll just press that so that you see how the button behaves. So in case you change your mind, then you just press the same button again, and then it will ignore the GPS coordinates. Now for this example, I'll just put a locality in Kenya called Ongatarongai. Okay. And since the other options are already in place, I will just leave them by default just for demonstration. For financial, the payment terms have been locked into payment in advance, so nothing else to change there. So I'll press the red button to create the customer. So it goes to the backend, creates the customer successfully, and then gives you the option to continue to order. So there, it will give me the user consent to either proceed with logging onto the screen, having been aware that my personal information will be used in the system. So once your your personal information has been captured successfully, and your corresponding customer account created, you'll be prompted to consent to logging in. Once you get this consent, you you either press yes or no, but if you press no, then you'll not be allowed to log into the system. So I'll go ahead and press yes. And what will happen is that you'll be the system will prepare the initial setups, which include products which are applicable to you to be transacted by yourself, as well as all the other internal configurations. So this is the initial page that shows up. So when you view your purchase summary, it will show you that you've not had any sales today, yesterday, or any other period for that matter, given that this is a new account registration. Likewise, it will also show you a summary of the discounts you've received so far, either quantity or value, as well as any samples that you've been given, your invoice tax summary report, your payment summary, any outstanding payments, as well as pending shipments or deliveries. So that you could be able to get them on this summary screen. Okay. Now, apart from that, when you go to the bottom ribbon, you will be able to see your details, and it will allow you either to view it in full, okay, and these are some of the details which you had captured during the during the enrollment process. If you go back, you can be able to edit any of those by just clicking the edit screen. You also have the product page, which shows you all the products that are available for you. Okay. Now, in the event that say you wanted to have any social media related content, then you'll be able to place them at the back end, and they'll automatically show up under your product profile. We also have the option to play a video if you have a video associated with the products that you're displaying, or rather that you're selling. Then you'll be able to indicate them on this particular page. Now, on the order screen, this is where you can be able to place the order. Here you have the list of products that are available for you to buy as a shopper. And then, say for example, if you choose one product, then if you go to the information page, you're able to see everything that relates to the product. Okay. So if you still wanted to stay in the same order, once you select the product, then you can always go back to order. Then it will take you back to the order screen. Apart from that, you have the payment option, which by default, since this is a shopper profile, we're only allowing online payments. So far, we've incorporated the mobile money payment for M-Pesa, but in future we'll include credit cards as well, so that one can be able to pay in advance before goods are delivered. And then finally, whatever you've sold will appear here as a summary. So this session was just to guide you on the on what you expect to see after launching in, after logging into the application. So just from a navigation point of view, that is what that is there. In the subsequent screens, I'll be able to show you how to place an order and make payments. In this session, I'll be taking you through the order processing steps based on the shopper profile. So, as I'd explained earlier, there are four items on the bottom ribbon, and in order to place an order, select the third ribbon item for order placement. So by default, since this is a shopper profile, there's only one customer that is applicable to this profile, and that is the name that appears on the customer field right at the top. In order to place an order for an item, you need to select from the drop down menu. And say, for example, you click the first one and you wanted to look at further more information about this item. So you click the button and it will give you several things. Apart from the unit price and the available stock which appears in the order screen, you're also able to get additional narrative information about the particular item you want to purchase, as well as a picture to go with it. Now, in addition to that, the system is actually a social first system because it also gives the option of including social media handles if you wanted, say, to also use social media to get either feedback from customers or just for them to interact with some of the ads which you've placed in the various platforms. So in this particular product, you notice that there's all the social media icons have been enabled, meaning from the back end, uh, this product has a handle for for each of these social media. You will notice that for some products, these social media handles will not appear. So it means that there's nothing specifically to interact on the social media for that product. You could also have maybe one of them or two, or all five appearing against one product. In addition to that, you also have a play video button, which basically also gives the entity the option of having a video link, maybe produced in house, that you can be able to market the product with, or if there's any other advertisement agency that has you've created for you content and it's not on social media, then you can use the play video option by specifying a link at the back end. So going back to the order, you will now be in a position to place the quantity to be bought. So assuming here we wanted to buy two of these items, so we enter a quantity of two. Automatically, it calculates the applicable cost and puts the item number one. In the event that you want to edit the item, then you will notice there's a spanner icon appearing on the left hand side, so you can click it to do maintenance. Yeah, so again, it will give you just some guidance here to use the maintenance bar appearing at the top of the screen to maintain the selected record. Okay, so you click there, and then you can always change the quantity of the so assuming instead of two we wanted three, then we will specify it and the item gets updated. In the event that you needed to delete the record, then you can always click the dustbin icon at the very top, and it will ask you whether you wanted to delete. Okay, so assuming you want to delete, it will say it will go complete that action. Okay, for on our behalf, right? Now, so it'll appear as a strike through in this case, but then when the order is processed, then automatically it will be excluded from the list. Okay. So going back to we've exited the edit page by clicking the arrow which was right at the top of the screen. So assuming we wanted to place an order for another item, maybe brake pad set. So brake pad set, you notice the social media icons don't exist, but the play video one does exist in this instance. In other cases, you might find just so that you can observe that point. If say, let's take for example, the third. Just a minute. If you go back to order, you would be able to see that for some of them there is no video option. So it appears grayed out as shown here. So meaning there is no video link at the back end, and therefore it grays it out. So let's go back to the order, and we are saying here, let's place an order for brake pads for one case or carton. So that will cost us five shillings. And these figures I'm just putting in, they are not real prices, they're just fictitious prices. Assuming you wanted to buy, say, a piece of spark plug at 1 shilling, put one. So those now will have two items on the screen. The total amount to be paid is 6 shillings. So working with that simple example, we can confirm the order and say yes. Then we get the option to proceed with payment. I'll click OK. Now on the M-Pesa screen, you notice we have a number there. I'll use that number to be able to process the payment. Okay. So we are proceeding with the payment. So what it does, it uploads, it does the stock allocation at the back end, and then I get an SMS confirming that that order has been confirmed. Then again here, I also get the message from the Safaricom for me to be able to enter my PIN code to complete the transaction, which I've done. And once that is done, it confirms the payment and also sends me the SMS confirming that the payment has indeed gone through. Yeah. So once the sync process is done at the end, the icons will change here to confirmed, and then finally it will change to paid once the synchronization process is completed. But as at now, it shows unpaid because the synchronization hasn't completed. But at least we know for sure that we've made the payment and we already have proof of payment, just in case we need to provide it for verification. So if I can go back to the screen, still not, but it will eventually appear. And that is the simple process for placing an order on the site. To look at the SMSs that have been sent by the system, you will be able to see here, it talks about order confirmation, okay, and the payments that have been applied. In this session, I'll be showing you how to access help in the system. So the help is accessible with the icon on the bottom ribbon, the fourth icon, which is displayed as a question mark. So when you click that, it takes you to the help icon. Now, so in this icon, of course, there's the telephone number and the email address of the entity that you could make a direct call to do an inquiry. That's option one. But the best option, rather that we've provided for this system, is an AI-enabled help system, and basically it's built off the retrieval augmented generation um, uh, capability on AI, where we've relied on past information that has been generated while developing the system, as well as system documentation, to be able to help the large language modules that are underlying the system to be able to respond appropriately to the end user. So for example, here we have the drop-down menu which shows the category of feedback or complaint that you may have. So we have product one on product quality, product damage, missing order item, and so on and so forth, which you can choose from. So for example, here I may say I want to choose on product quality, and I'll say this is with respect to order number one. So under feedback, I would say my product, the items in this order are not of expected quality. Please help. Okay, this is just an example of what one could place. So automatically, what happens is once you place that request, you automatically get a response from the system. So if you look at the work log, it says there's a work log area, and the help system in this case is called Onyi. You can customize it to your organization and call it what you want. This is actually a customizable option, but for this one is called Onyi. So it says, I'm sorry, but I couldn't find information related to the quality of items in an order in the retrieved documents. This question seems to be out of the scope of the provided documents. If you have any other questions or need assistance with something else, feel free to ask. So this is the response that the Gen AI is giving automatically. Okay. Now I've chosen this particular type of question deliberately, given that we've only provided limited information of what it could respond to. Okay. Now, for such, if say you get such a response, there are three buttons that you can either reply to provide further clarification to the AI module, or if you're satisfied with it, then you press satisfied. Otherwise, if not satisfied, you will do not satisfied, and then the human in the loop element will kick in. So one of our support personnel who is managing this entity would be able to pick up the flagged ticket and be able to step in and provide assistance. So in this case, you just say not satisfied, okay, and then it will give you contact the implication of your selection. This implies the response provided does not meet your expectation. This will be escalated to further assistance. Proceed with escalation process. Then you click yes. So that goes, and then once the system will have already seen the feedback was not satisfactory, then the progress status will be put as under investigation. It will change from work in progress to under investigation. So that one will be picked up by an agent. Now, so suppose now we choose, let's say, let me take one that, let me just say other issues, and then I give a comment. How many payment options are available? Payment options are available. So this one is actually looking at a well-documented question. So when I submit, the expectation is that I should receive the right response in this particular case. So let's see if that happens. So it says, based on the information from the retrieved document, there is one payment method currently available for shoppers, which is the M-Pesa mobile money payment option. And then additional payment methods may be onboarded in the future. But as of now, only the M-Pesa mobile money payment option is provided for shoppers. So that is fairly satisfactory answer based on the information available to it. So here, what do? I say satisfied. So when I say satisfied, it means that this implies the response provided meets your expectations and no further action is required. So if you're in agreement with that, you say yes. Otherwise, you say no. So in this case, I'll say yes. And then automatically, it will bring me an option to rate the service. So I'll just give it a 5-star rating in this case, and I'll say, well done. Okay, well done. But this is an optional comment. Then you click submit. So once I've submitted, then basically that particular case will be in closed status, because already we are saying that we are satisfied, and then the feedback is there. The feedback closure date stamp is therefore captured. So you'll see that this help system is quite good, because it will filter out most of the obvious questions and handle them on behalf of your support personnel,
And whatever needs to be escalated, there's a clear escalation process that will need the human a human intervention in that particular case.